Alright, response video to Pyrrho. Watched about 30 seconds of his video and said, oh, fuck this. I'll definitely have to respond. So, he talks fast, only 5 minutes, so it should only take me about 3 hours to get through it.
Hey Gary, well, thank you for not kicking me last night, because I was in a not shit-taking mood, which I'm still in. Now, I don't know anything about your childhood or the other people that espouse this pessimistic view of life and this idea.
Yeah, well, this isn't really about our childhood. I mean, if we want to compare our stories and how we came to observe life and how we figured out what it means and all that stuff, well, maybe it would have some value. But you're not really going to do that. You're not going to dissect the psychology and what little events in your life made something obvious to you, and then you understood what some kind of the relationship of value. I mean, I can give you the example, I've done it before, about the sports equation, okay? I mean, I at one time thought there was some value in being the best at something, or, you know, being the sports hero, or being competitive and winning. And then I saw it, and I saw how trivial and stupid it was, and it almost made me want to just puke at how silly I was to be caught up in something so stupid. And when I calculated what the losses were, all these people that have to lose so this one asshole can dance around and do his little superiority dance, it is just such nonsense. And then when you look at what they accomplished, the end result is nothing. Nothing of value. Oh, he kicked a ball into a fucking hoop, or threw one into a hoop, or he hit some ball with a bat, or some other kind of bullshit. Who the fuck cares? What absolute preposterous nonsense. And so then, yeah, the person in the stands isn't going to understand what I just said. The asshole with his little flag and his big finger and, you know, rah, 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 home team, and he's painting his skin and going through all this crap. He's not going to understand one word I'm speaking right now, okay? Because he's living in a whole different world, okay? He's still drinking the God Kool-Aid, okay, of this glory thing, of this accomplishment thing. And so if you want to bring me an argument to explain why these fallacies of our constant ambition, this constant pursuit of this cheese, you want to make a rational argument, fine. But if you're just going to do some kind of jackass stuff and say, what kind of stick hit you in the head? Well, what kind of rock or apple fell on your head? No, it's a goddamn philosophy, asshole. Argue the philosophy and the logic, and don't play this psychology game.
Idea that by some crazy notion you think that while you wouldn't commit a single murder, somehow you are sure of the objective right of committing, 7.5 billion murders. And
yeah, well, whatever. We went over that, and so, again, you're just going to cheat the argument. That wasn't what that was on the table. The point that's on the table is if human beings are not going to stop reproducing, okay, that the idea is look, if human beings just stop reproducing, then there's no problem. The problem is they're putting a future at jeopardy, all right? And they take billions of animals and exploit them, torture them, and harm them. They do this, and then they do this to human beings. And some asshole in your post, this stupid aspartame guy who's just a complete troll piece of crap shit, doesn't have the guts to make a real argument, and doesn't have any balls whatsoever. Made some stupid point on the next video about, a billion people, 1 in a billion chance of being miserable. No, there's not a 1 in a billion chance. There's 1 in 3 chance a woman's going to be raped. There's 1 in 3 chance she's going to end up with breast cancer. 50-50 chance you're going to have prostate cancer before you die, you little piece of weasel. We go down the fucking list. We are entered in a whole pile of shitty lotteries. And you're going to win some of those, guaranteed, okay? If you enter, 1,000 lotteries with a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning each one, you're guaranteed almost to win one of those lotteries, you asshole. And so we're all fucked. We all know what the end is. It's going to be something. We're doomed in a lot of ways. And the longer we live, the longer we're exposed to all this risk. And some people pay the risk. You don't pay it. Okay? Again, the argument is this is a Frankenstein experiment. There's been no study, no information whatsoever, no logic statement, nothing stating why this experiment needs to take place, what is going to be accomplished by doing this experiment. And I can point out the huge risk of this fucking experiment, okay? That you're putting a whole bunch of sentient beings at jeopardy. There's likely to be another fucking goddamn Holocaust. Very likely that billions of people are going to be killed in a very slow, miserable, horrible manner. So yeah, and what I'm saying is that future is huge. There's a ton of suffering sitting out there being exposed, and there's no evidence that human beings give a shit about any of that crap. And so my argument to you is you stop putting people on the roller coaster, I'll say fine. You ride it as long as you motherfucking can. You can fucking supertronic your brain. You can fucking build yourself a little steel cage to put your brain in and live there for 5 million years. Do whatever the fuck you want to your own fucking consciousness. But your fucking arrogance to think you have a right to conduct this experiment and continue this fucking experiment when you have no efficacy document, no statement saying this thing makes fucking goddamn sense, or that this goddamn risk or this goddamn suffering is worth your petty little fucking glory chase, your goddamn little, endless pursuit of your goddamn fucking cheese doodle. So fuck you. Until you do that, yeah, that's right. I'm telling you the logical, provable, right thing for an ethical and decent human being to do is if he had the power to fucking eradicate the whole fucking thing with one little smash of his hand, it would be the moral and ethical thing to goddamn do. Because you people will not conduct the experiment in any kind of ethical, decent manner. You're irresponsible motherfucking pricks. You've admitted it. You keep reproducing for no good goddamn reason except your own fucking selfish self-indulgence. And then you glorify that. You say, well, it's great to be a slob. It's great to be reckless and sloppy and fuck everything to goddamn hell. It's great to take risks with other people's goddamn welfare. Yeah, it's great to be a drunk fucking driver. Fuck you. Alright? You're goddamn Frankensteins. You're Dr. Frankenstein, sadistic, malicious motherfucking cunts. And you don't have rights when you start imposing on other people. You're not giving birth to yourself. You're giving birth to a new human being who may not share your fucking values. And you have no right to put that consciousness in jeopardy. No fucking right. You're the imposer, alright? And I would only be undoing the imposition. Don't know. Be back shortly. Continuing 6 years later. Anyway. Yes. Continue.
Only hypothetically. I like to think that you wouldn't do that given the actual chance. But
yeah, well, you can like to think anything you want. I'm just saying the evidence is in. I've heard no counter argument. I have to do what logic dictates. Now, this is there's a ton of scenarios we can give. It's like somebody, they love their dog, and then because they love their dog, they don't do the right thing. The dog gets sick. They keep the dog around for another 6 months in a horrible condition. It's suffering. It's miserable. And because they love it, they keep trying to save it. They keep trying to preserve something. And it's completely an illusion. It's a delusion. And it's a false value. The real value needs action. All right? And I'm just saying that I know it's completely a theoretical question. But the point is yes, the answer is I'm confident. I can't make any other argument. And so for me not to act would be a betrayal of my own intelligence. It would be a betrayal of my own the point in existing. The point of even arguing for these values is lost if you can't act when you have the opportunity. I mean, it'd be no point in having intelligence again if you're not going to do anything with it. If you're just going to deny it and allow your emotions to dictate what your actions will be.
You're talking philosophy, and your philosophy certainly advocates that, obviously.
So why wouldn't I act consistent with that philosophy? Again, why would it make sense for me to do anything else but to act consistent with the philosophy?
Now, my impression, again, I know nothing about your childhood or anybody else's childhood, but my impression is that this whiny kind of bitchy nonsense is the same kind of suburban angst.
Oh, suburban angst. Listen to this crap. Like, oh, only poor people know what life means, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I wasn't rich, okay? I mean, my first bicycle was somebody else's garbage. I mean, I can go right down the list. I didn't need anything, though, okay? It wouldn't have mattered whether I was rich or poor. It was irrelevant to me. I lived in nature. I lived among the beasties. I really did grow up like a little Tarzan. I had no use for anything civilized. I played with no toys. I had no friends. I interacted with the world as it existed, as it crawled and such upon the earth. So whatever. But it was completely irrelevant. I mean, again, unless you want to talk about what it showed me, what I observed through that experience. Through that experience, I observed that these animals I associate with daily, that things would happen to them. They would die. They would disappear. harm would come to them. And what I found was there was no reason for that. What I found was on Sundays we would dress up in silly little costumes and pretend to sing to some kind of fake god, and it was all a lie, and it was all nonsense, and the whole civilization was built on mush and nonsense and Easter rabbits and fairy tales and happily ever after. I knew happily ever after was a lie the first time I heard the fucking words. The first time I heard the words, I say, what do you mean, happily ever after? Where has anything living happily ever after? Show me something living happily ever after. Everything I've ever encountered does not live happily ever after. It dies miserably very soon.
Upper middle class kind of angst that you see with the Columbine shooting or any of this whiny bullshit destructive nature.
Yeah, again, you're just going to deny this philosophical dilemma, okay? There is no longer the God delusion. There's no more happily ever after. There's no more making rationalizations for our existence. We're all going to go to heaven and molest children, pet children, eat children, whatever you fuckers thought you were going to do there. Yeah, there's no singularity, Pyro. There's nothing to do with intelligence but clean up the puke we're throwing all over the goddamn floor. Okay? The only thing intelligence can do is be a janitor for the mess we make with our gluttony and our need and our want and our excess. And that's it. That's its only functionality. This is all a delusion. You're all making a horrible mess. And that's all it is, all for nothing, because you're addicted, because you're a desire machine, and you can't figure it out, you can't look at the DNA honestly. You've glorified it, you've glorified this life mission, you've denied its functionality, which is consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction. You've not provided any evidence of any other ingredient that has any value whatsoever. You're just sitting there playing a psychological game, and now you're just playing a psych game by being, oh, I'm going to insult them by calling them little angsty teenagers. No, you're the little faggot then who's dreaming of his little rainbow. You're chasing your little pink unicorn, you fucking sissy, and it doesn't fucking exist, Christabel. So get over your fucking self. Your little pink unicorn doesn't exist, Pyro. So give it up, you little fairy.
Sure. Now, luckily, as far as I know, none of you have gone to that direction, but I really see it as part of a different kind of expression of the same sort of self-sorry feeling, you know?
Yeah, the self-sorry, blah, 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 blah. It wouldn't even matter, Pyro. You're not making a logical argument. You're just sitting there and throwing insults. So I just throw some more insults at you, if that's the game we're just going to play. You're trivial, superficial. God, you're so synthetic. Oh, man, you're fucking crayon drawings on the Da Vinci. You're just nothing. You're trivial. You can't even see the fucking obvious. You're being gamed by a DNA molecule. You're being duped by a DNA molecule. God, you're so fucking ignorant. You're ignorant. You're ignorant. You're fucking ignorant.
You were growing up. You were enjoying your parents' wealth. They blew smoke up your ass and made you think the world.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's all my parents doing. I didn't even know I had parents. Yeah, that's how benign I lived and existed among them. So quit playing your little fucking games, Pyro. I've made the rational, logical argument. I've taken it all the way to the physics, the chemistry, the DNA molecule, the whole way it's gamed us for 2 billion years, and you're playing this fucking psych game. Fuck you! Make a goddamn rational argument that has some facts based on it, and you're not this pussy bullshit. Oh, I know the real life because I grew up poor in Hawaii. Oh, fuck, growing up poor in Hawaii is really rough. Try living in fucking New Jersey without any money, asshole. Try doing that, fucker.
The world was this pretty place, and oh, you were so upset when you found out it wasn't true. Meanwhile, people who...
Yeah, that's not the way it happened. I never had the presumption that it was a pretty place, okay? And I found out it wasn't true before they told me the story. That's how I knew the story was bullshit. Alright, because I already looked out the fucking window. I already knew the fucking truth, so they couldn't fool me with any fucking bullshit stories. Because it wouldn't have been consistent with what I've already fucking observed. That's why I never believed in God, never believed in a fairy tale, never believed in a single fucking word that came out of an adult's fucking mouth when I was a goddamn kid.
Didn't have that good of a basis. Never fooled themselves that way. That's the advantage they got. So instead of being fooled, instead of getting a nice little childhood they could have enjoyed more directly, you know, they got reality quicker. And when it came time to...
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that'd be my argument. While you jackasses were chasing your fucking unicorns, that's right. I already knew the jig was fucking goddamn up.